Hey friends, Pastor Bill Walden here with Build Up the Church. This is a devotional word for December the 14th, 2024, and this is out of the book of the Revelation, the revealing of Jesus Christ, chapter 7. The Apostle John writes about the things that he is given to see in the realm of the Spirit. And in chapter 7, we see John seeing a great multitude beyond number standing before the throne of God. Let me read this to you. This is out of the New Living Translation. Verse 9, Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. After this I saw a vast crowd, too great to count, from every nation and tribe and people and language, standing in front of the throne and before the Lamb. And they were clothed in white robes and held palm branches in their hands. And they were shouting with a great roar, "Salvation comes from our God who sits on the throne and from the Lamb." In my lifetime, I'm as far as generationally goes, in these modern times, I'm called a baby boomer, born in 1955. And in my lifetime, I remember the civil rights movement, headed up in many ways by Dr. Martin Luther King. And then in recent years, there's been the Black Lives Matter movement, and in the ugly background of all of that, there's been the Ku Klux Klan. And before I was born, in my parents' generation, there was, of course, World War II, and there was Nazi Germany, where Adolf Hitler sought to exalt the German nation and the German race as the top of the food chain within humanity, and he put out great effort to exterminate the Jews and others, homosexuals, people with mental illness and that kind of thing, and killed millions of people. It doesn't take much exposure to world history to be aware of the great transgressions and the great sins and the great genocide that has happened between races, and then even among races. I think about the race wars, and not the race wars, but the tribal wars in Africa. People just massacring one another, and it breaks our hearts and it breaks God's heart. And in these days that I live in, it seems as though some of those issues, as important as they are, seem to be exalted above the knowledge of Jesus Christ and the sharing of the gospel of Jesus Christ. In heaven, there's going to be every race and every tribe and every nation and every language and every kind of human being in any kind of form. If they have said yes to Christ, there is no racial divide. And more than anything, I believe the gospel of Jesus Christ abolishes in the hearts of people racial divide. And you can have civil rights movements, and I'm not saying those are wrong, they're not. But you can legislate behavior, but laws and government decisions don't change human hearts. The gospel of Jesus Christ changes human hearts. And I've traveled the world enough and been, 12, 13 different countries and nationalities and different languages, and I have enjoyed fellowship and friendship and oneness with people all over the world, different nationalities, different color groups, different cultures, different practices, different church practices. But as we are all together in Jesus Christ, there is no racial divide, there is no ethnic divide, there is no cultural divide. I adapt to their culture, they adapt to my culture, but there's a oneness behind it all that comes from being born again. And that oneness we see extended and manifested in the greatest way when people will be in heaven before the throne of God. So I never want to say that we shouldn't focus on making things better here, but never at the expense of helping people to make it to the other side. Never at the expense of jeopardizing our witness regarding Jesus Christ. The most important thing we can do with our lives if we're Christians is to serve God and love people. And in doing so, perchance, by God's grace, they become born again. And whatever racial divide, whatever prejudice there is, whatever ethnic resentment there is, whatever cultural distaste there is, all those things begin to fade because of the power of God in the heart of a person. So we see this great manifestation of these multitudes before the throne of God in heaven. That's what John saw, the finished product. Let's not forget about what God can do and wants to do. And let's not forget those things and put too much effort, in an inappropriate amount of effort, and expecting that we can legislate what only God can accomplish. So God bless you. Hope I'm not misunderstood. Some things to think about. Thanks for watching.